To another edition of the Sports Web. I'm Peter Blake. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is probably the worst Buccaneer game I've ever seen in their history. From start to finish, there was no doubt the Falcons completely dominated the Buccaneers. Offensively, defensively, and special teams, 56-14 last Thursday night. And it actually made me think back to the last time the Buccaneers gave up 56 points. And that was in October of 1989 versus the Cincinnati Bengals. That's right. I was 10 years old. Sam Weiss was the coach, and Boomer Esiason was the quarterback of that team. And even that game wasn't as bad as what we witnessed on Thursday night. So instead of breaking down the negatives and telling you what the Buccaneers did wrong, which is basically everything, I'm going to ask 3 questions, and I want your feedback on this on Facebook and YouTube. Number 1, do the Buccaneers really have a quarterback? I would say no at this point. In fact, through the first 3 games, Josh McCown has already thrown 4 interceptions. His decision-making is not very good, and I don't think he's going to win you many games because he is what he is, a backup. He had 1 good year with the Chicago Bears, and you sign him to a contract. You're getting what you pay for at this point. Mike Glennon, in my opinion, I believe he also is a backup, but he's going to get his opportunity in the next coming games because McCown is hurt with a finger injury. Number 2, with Jet Tedford taking a leave of absence, what is the future of this offense? And I'll tell you right now, I'm not sure if it's very good at all. In fact, this offense is very conservative, ultra-conservative, and very predictable. And on top of that, it hasn't even been successful. In fact, watching Thursday night's game reminded me of what the offense was last year, which means they were dead last in the NFL. Is that going to improve? I'm not sure. And number 3, can the Bucs turn this around? With new offensive systems and a new defensive system and all the personnel that they picked up in free agency and the draft and a new coaching staff, my opinion of this team was a 7-9 win team, but I'm not even sure about that anymore, and that's the point. There were so many unanswered questions at the beginning of the year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and those questions have not been answered. For another edition of the Sports Web, I'm Peter Blake.